So hey everyone, I am Ramit Das. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to do the Flutter setup in our PC. So for doing Flutter setup, first we have to download the Flutter SDK file. So what is SDK? SDK is Software Development Kit. It is basically set up all the tools and libraries that are required to do Flutter development. So for downloading, first go to the your browser and search Flutter SDK. Click on the first link, and as we are downloading for Windows, click on Windows, scroll down a little bit and click here. So after clicking downloading, your downloading will begin, and I have already downloaded, so I am moving up forward. So go to the directory where you have downloaded the file. Yeah. So after going to the directory, right click on the zip file and click extract all. And after clicking extract, extraction will begin, and it will take few minutes to complete. After completing the extraction part, click on the extracted folder, go inside the Flutter, go inside the bin folder, and now copy the path of this folder. So now we have to add this path in our environment variable. So you might thinking why I am doing this. So basically ये करने से हम अपने फ्लटर्स के जितने भी कमांड्स हैं वो अपने सिस्टम में डाल सकते हैं. फॉर एन एग्जांपल, अगर यहाँ पे मैं अपने टर्मिनल को खोलूं और यहाँ पे मैं फ्लटर लिखूं, तो यहाँ पे हम एक एरर दे सकते हैं जहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है द फ्लटर इज नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज्ड. मींस हमारे सिस्टम को फ्लटर के बारे में कुछ भी पता नहीं है, उसके कमांड के बारे में. So after adding the path of the SDK in our environment variable, हमारे सिस्टम को फ्लटर्स के सारे कमांड्स ऐड हो जाएंगे हमारे सिस्टम में बेसिकली. So how to do that? First go in the search button of your system and search environment variable. Edit the system. Click on this option. Click on environment variable. Now click on path, and after that click edit. Now click here new and paste the path of the bin folder. And now click OK. Go back. Go back. Yes. अगेन आफ्टर अगर मैं फिर से अपने टर्मिनल को खोलूं और यहाँ पे फ्लटर लिखूं, तो यू कैन सी कि हमारे सिस्टम में सारे फ्लटर्स के कमांड्स आ चुके हैं. मतलब फ्लटर के जितने भी कमांड है हमारे सिस्टम में ऐड हो चुका है. नाउ the SDK setup part is done. Now we have to download an editor to edit and run our Flutter code. So for that we are downloading the Android Studio. So again go to the browser, search Android Studio. Click on the first link. Don't know why, but the net is very slow. Sorry for that. So yeah, after opening the link, click on download Android Studio, and Giraffe is the version of the Android Studio. So click download, scroll down, accept the agreement, then download Android Studio. So after clicking download, your download gets begin, and as I have already downloaded it, so I am moving forward. Go to the directory where you have downloaded the file. I have downloaded it in setup. Yes. So right click on it, click open, and then click next, 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 and install. And your extraction gets to begin. Mm. After extraction gets completed, click next and click finish. And now your Android Studio gets opened. Now inside it, you may have to download many extra files that I have already downloaded it as I am installing it in the second time. So you have to download that file. After that, you get this interface. Now you have to do one more thing. Click more action. Click SDK manager. Go to SDK tool and click on Android SDK command line and click OK or apply. Now you have to download this 141.9 MB file in order to apply the Android SDK in our command line. Basically, हम कर क्या रहे हैं कि हम by downloading this file, you can access your Android SDK in your command line. Now you might thinking what is Android SDK, right? So Android SDK is an virtual Android device in your PC through which you can run and use your Flutter code, Flutter app basically inside it. So it will take some time, I think. So I have to skip this part. So yeah, after finishing the download, click finish. Now go to your terminal and we have to run Flutter doctor. So by running this code हमें पता चल जाएगा कि हमें क्या क्या चीज और इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा to run our Flutter code. So yeah, you can see that Android toolchain is perfectly installed in my PC, but in your PC there might be showing some error like Android license is not accepted. For that, you have to just run this command to accept the Android license. So basically इससे हम इस कोड को रन करने के बाद हम अपने जो वर्चुअल डिवाइस है उसको एक्सेस कर पाएंगे थ्रू द कमांड लाइन. So just you have to run this command flutter doctor android license, enter, and after that, that error that might be showing in your PC will get resolved and a tick mark will shown up. So what are the other errors that are showing? First is Chrome. अगर आपके पीसी में क्रोम डाउनलोडेड नहीं है जो कि जैसे मेरे पीसी में नहीं है तो आप तब ये एरर शो होगा नहीं तो यहाँ पे टिक मार्क लग जाएगा एंड लास्टली इज विजुअल स्टूडियो सो इट इज शोइंग दैट हमें विजुअल स्टूडियो इंस्टॉल नहीं है ये हमें बता रहा है तो आफ्टर डाउनलोडिंग विजुअल स्टूडियो ये एरर भी ठीक हो जाएगा बट एट नाउ we don't need Visual Studio, so we are not installing it. Okay. So yeah, after doing accepting the license, go to your Android Studio. Now let's run a new Flutter project to verify whether our setup is finished or some other things are lagging or not. So for creating a Flutter project, go to a directory where you want to create a Flutter project. I'm going to the C. Now right click, open terminal. Now just run a command flutter create and test. So by running this command we can create a new Flutter project whose name is test and make sure that the name of the project should be in small letters. The first letter of the name should be small. Click enter and your Flutter project gets created. Now you can see by doing this you can run the Flutter project directly through the terminal, but we'll run it in the Android Studio. Go to Android Studio, click open, and after that you can see the project that is created in the form of a Android icon. Click on test and click OK. and your project gets opened inside the Android Studio. Now, one more thing, uh, we have to install a plugin of Flutter. So go to setting, go to plugins. Here you have to search Flutter, install this plugin. Now you have to restart the Android Studio. Yeah. Uh, Now you can see the Flutter icon gets created here as the file gets opened. Now, one more thing, we have to download our virtual device, means the Android SDK, through which we can run the Flutter app. So for downloading, we have to click Create Device. Now select the model of the phone which you want to create. I will recommend you to create the phone with having Play Store in it. So I am going with Pixel 6a. Click Next. Now you have to download the Android version. So you can download any of them. So I'm going with uh, Android 34. It is already downloaded it, but you have to download it. Let's take another one. I'm going with Pi. Okay, Android 9. Click download, and the download gets begin for the Android version. Yeah, after installing the Android version, click Finish. Now click on the downloaded Android version. I have downloaded Pi, so click Next. Then you can set your AVD name, means virtual device name. Then click Finish, and your virtual device gets created here. You can see. Now it is a pre-built Flutter code, and this is the Flutter files inside the project that are created automatically. So now you can run this code using this virtual device like this. Mm, Simply click this one to open your virtual device. Yeah, so once your virtual device gets opened, now simply you can see Pixel 6a gets selected here. Now simply click on run main dot dot, and the file gets start debugging. So yeah, our Flutter code is get installed in our virtual device. Now you can run this. And yeah, this is the basic Flutter app that we get pre-built while we create a new project in Flutter. So we'll talk about this in later, but yeah, our code is running in the virtual device. So our setup is perfectly working. At last, you can install one more thing, which is Visual Studio Code, and I think you have already installed it, as you might be learning C in it. So for downloading Visual Studio, click VS Code, click on the first link, click download for Windows, and your download gets begin. Click download and download gets start. After downloading, simply go to the file where you have downloaded. Click on the right click on the application, click open, and then click I accept agreement, next, click desktop icon, next, install, and simply your Visual Studio Code will start installing. Now click finish. Now you can also run your Flutter code here also. Simply go to open folder. Now go to the directory where you have created your Flutter project. Click select project and your project gets opened. Simply click yes, I trust, yes. Now the main code of your Flutter were kept or were inside your leaf folder. So here it is the Flutter code. Click main.
I will explain it in our upcoming video, so don't worry about that. Yeah, here is the basic code, Flutter code. Now for running this, simply I think we have to install Flutter plugins. Yeah, install Flutter, then Dart. Yeah. So after installing, go to the main.dart. Click on Start debugging. Wait, before starting, go to the bottom. Click Windows. Now click Pixel 6a API 26, which is the virtual device you have created in the Android Studio. Click here, and your code will get debugging. Starts debugging, and you can see you can access the virtual device here also. So you can develop your Flutter code in the VS Code also. But yeah, don't uninstall the Android Studio. If you will, then the Android Studio, I mean virtual device, also gets removed, so you can't access the virtual device here. Okay, I think, yeah. Start debugging, and your code will get start debugging. Yeah, so it is running perfectly fine. So yeah, after doing this, our Flutter setup is completed successfully. In the upcoming videos, we're gonna do Flutter development. So make sure to follow every steps that I have told in the video. Otherwise, you can't do the Flutter development and can't run the code. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. Thank you. Bye bye.